Hi guys, we are live on Women Who Do. I'm so excited to be sitting down today with Amy Acton. She is a stylist on the Olympics. So, we have a lot of questions to ask her today with everything upcoming. We're so excited. And sneak peek, there's some Anne Klein integrations going on. So we'll talk a little bit more about that today. But for anyone who is just joining us today for the first time, thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time seeing Women Who Do, this is a series dedicated to honoring incredible, amazing women like Amy, who are making really incredible changes in the world and in careers and the cultural landscape today. My grandmother was a trailblazer, so we're here today upholding her legacy. So Amy, thank you for joining us.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor, it really, really is.
So to jump right in, Amy, I said stylist, visual brander, there's parallels there. How did you kind of find this career path for yourself, and how are you kind of like shaping the way that people feel confidence?
Well, it's funny that you should ask that, because I really got into this business in general and became a stylist for two really simple reasons at first. Is that I loved to watch TV and shop. And believe it or not, I didn't go, I wasn't the best student. So after high school, I went to college until I ran out of outfits. But partied there like a rock star, even with the yearbook. And I never finished, and I was like, I went to work. I worked in a health club business for a long time. And I guess I woke up and I was just so miserable. And I just was working in the mall after the health club business because I couldn't do that for another minute. And I was just all over the place. And then I just found myself super down and out. And I went to my father's house and I was like, I can't take it. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm floundering on the street of dreams here. What am I going to do? And my father was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I like to do. And he's like, well, let's start there. What do you like to do? And I was like, I like to shop and watch TV. What are we going to do with that? And he pointed out to me that there are careers where people get paid to shop and watch TV. And suddenly my life just changed automatically. I was like, oh my God. And I always felt in my heart of hearts that I understood the power of an outfit, or the power even of a pair of shoes or a lipstick. It just changes the way you stand, the way you feel about yourself, and helps you even reinvent yourself. So thinking about that and molding that in with shopping and watching TV, it was just a totally natural choice. So I just got my hustle on. And long story longer, I took a job at a retail store where some celebrities shopped, and then I asked them if I could put them down on my resume as a personal shopper, and they were like, yes. And then lo and behold, I ran into a girl when I was working with my dad. I'm like, how am I going to make this happen? And he was like, I want you to tell everybody you know, every single person, no matter who it is, the mailman, the garbage man, the produce man, the friend, the ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever you have to tell. And I told this girl what I was looking to do, and she happens to be the production manager of one of the bigger studios in Manhattan at the time. And I was like, well, if there's anything that ever opens up. And a few months later, she called me. She's like, if you can be here today, the job pays nothing, but it's yours. I showed up, I took the job, and then lo and behold, I started to do pilots and things like that. And then a high-profile talk show came into the studio. And I became a stylist for the show, and that's really where it all kind of began for me.
So, Amy, getting into the upcoming Tokyo Olympics, how are you kind of applying a lot of these kind of, amazing ways of working with, athletes to what's upcoming very soon?
Right. So, I think the biggest key in working with and helping someone curate their look is listening and understanding and really knowing nonverbal cues. That's the biggest part, right? Because so many people say, no, I'm good, I love it. But you can tell instinctively when someone puts something on if they love it. They don't need to say a word about it. You'll know. Their face lights up, their posture changes. It's an automatic thing. And I feel like just really listening and helping to understand what works, even if it's something that I don't think looks the best on you, if it makes you feel the best, guess what? It looks the best. So I just want everyone to just feel their best and look their best. And the work that goes on behind the scenes to make that happen, they would blow your mind.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about like what happens on site to get ready for such a like monumental event like this?
Yeah, so we start working with, like, let's say Anne Klein a year before the games even begin, trying to like pick out the perfect wardrobe and the perfect pieces for whoever, you know, we're styling. All those pieces then have to get shipped overseas. And then we have a wardrobe facility there, wardrobe stations, makeup rooms, where we're dressing over 100 talent just to bring the games to everyone's living room there. And then we have another 100 talent that are working here in stateside in the studios in Connecticut and New York and Miami. So it's a really big operation.
For Anne Klein, how are you kind of working with women athletes and newscasters at the Olympics to dress them? What is it about Anne Klein that you're really loving as, you know, a vehicle for confidence?
Okay, well, there's two female broadcasters that Anne Klein is going to be outfitting at the games, and they're actually two of my favorite. They're strong, powerful women that I really felt like embody the brand. They're also relatable, which I think is important. Like, you're inviting this person into your home. The viewer's inviting you into your home, and you want to feel like they're relatable. You understand them. You know who they are, and they feel like the Anne Klein brand is like perfect for that, and perfect for these two women, because it's like, what's the quote? It's not the clothes, it's the women who wear the clothes that are going to change the world. I could be like misquoting, but it's to that effect. And that's an Anne Klein quote, correct? That's who these two women are. They are women working in sports right there. That's, you know, especially in this time, like they've been working in sports like well before the Me Too movement and, you know, all that.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they literally are trailblazers, these two women. And I'm just excited to have them in a clothing line inspired by Trailblazer. So when I approached Andrea, she was like, oh my God, Anne Klein was the first clothing provider I ever wore. I think it was 1992 in Lillehammer, if I'm not mistaken. And she was like, that's so funny. And I chose Anne Klein then because it was just perfect. I never had to worry about it. It fit and it looked great. And I was like, this is going to be so exciting. I love how things just like, you know, fall into place or come full circle. Oh, and I thought that was a pretty amazing little story.
This sounds like a massive operation with so many different moving parts. What is kind of your role in orchestrating all of this?
So I like to call myself, and I coined the phrase, talent visual brand manager. Because I feel like what I do is so much more than just styling. Like, we handle hair, makeup, and wardrobe. And we're not just like helping you pick out a shirt. We're helping you create your brand, you know, and as well as working within what like the network's brand is, and like advocating for both sides. So, you know, you might come to a network that's completely conservative and you're like the wild child, and you still want to like show some of, you know, your edge. So it's my job to come in and like work with the network executives and work with the talent and like, let's find a happy medium where this person can still be themselves and you guys can still be happy and on brand for your company. So I feel like it's like, I'm a stylist and a makeup artist, but it's hard to explain, I guess. It's a little bit bigger than that, and like managing people's personal brands and staying in line with a company's brand.
What are you most excited about this upcoming Olympics, and why does it feel like different from past?
So it's tricky because I'm super excited, and I'm also a little like trepidatious because I feel like, like everything you hear in the news is like, the COVID, Japan doesn't want us there. But then it's kind of like that with every games, right? It's like, oh, the water's brown, the roof's caving in, the black widow is lurking, you know? So speaking to my friends that are already over there, they said everything seems to be fine, like everything's great. So I'm just excited to, one, get over there and see for myself, and two, to be a part of something. So, you know, like 25, 30 years from now, but you're gonna be like, oh, great, Aunt Amy was at the games, you know. That's where I was there. And it's gonna be like a great story to tell, you know, handing down to like my nieces and nephews and family that I was there. It's also kind of like really, I know it sounds like silly, but it's an honor to be a part of it, because the Olympics are such a sign of hope for people everywhere. And just even being such a small part of it is really an honor. And I'm blessed and I'm fortunate, and I love the Olympics. I mean, the Olympics Games changed my life and changed my perspective on life. Watching the world come together, and no matter race, religion, sex, everyone's there, like embracing love and hope and good cheer. And there's nothing, I yet to find a feeling that matches that.
Who are the women in your life that inspire you and have mentored you through the years?
Well, obviously, I'm going to go with the number one answer and be like my mother. Because sure, if I don't say that. And two, my mom is an amazing woman. You know, she's a strong woman, the mother of 7. My parents divorced, and my mom went on to get her master's degree and become a school nurse. So she had the time to be at home with her kids when they were home, and at work while we were at school. So, I mean, I really have to say, like, my mom's been an amazing inspiration for just, you know, getting things done and not complaining about circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 5th grade teacher who really did, and this goes back to, I really think, like, part of why I'm so passionate about what I do, who in 5th grade, 6th grade, I was like, you know, I was going to a school where I was on scholarship, and I was like that gangly, overly skinny kid. I mean, can you believe I was skinny once? This gangly, little skinny kid with like chronically dirty hair. Like, didn't matter how many times I washed it. And I was just like, that everyone was just like, you know, that's the weird one. Stay away from her. And I had this teacher that was like, one day pulled me aside and was like, listen, kid, yeah, you're a little weird looking right now. You're gonna grow into it. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat this stuff. It's not worth it. It's just, you're gonna be beautiful one day. Don't worry about it. And she's like, and instead of thinking that when you hear people whispering, they're always saying something bad about you, why don't you pretend that they're saying something positive? You're like, oh my God, that girl's eyes are so blue. Instead of being like, oh, her nose is so big, you know? And like that also was just like a little thing that changed my life.
We're coming up very close. So I'm so excited, and I can't wait to see all the looks that you're putting together.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone to see them. And I hope maybe people notice, you know, like, well, I hope they don't notice, because part of my job is to make sure that everyone looks great, but you're not really noticing it.
Amy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. I'm beyond like that you would take your time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
No, us too. Thank you. I'm sure you have a lot of planning to get back to, so we'll let you go. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you watch the Olympic Games. Can't wait to share some of the outfits that Amy will be putting together with Anne Klein. We're so excited. And for any updates on the Women Who Do series, make sure you're following Anne Klein Official on Instagram and Anne Klein on Facebook. Amy, have a wonderful day. And yeah, I hope everything goes well in the next few weeks.
It should.